So this would be the last night that AEW would go head-to-head with NXT on Wednesday nights. And since they were going up head-to-head with a takeover event, I figured there would be something pretty huge set up for tonight. So the night kicked off with the number 1 ranked Hangman Adam Page versus Max Caster. And as expected, Page continued on his roll by beating Max. I feel like eventually this is going to set up for a match between AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Adam Page, because I feel like the main thing going on right now in AEW is this Bullet Club / Elite storyline where there's conflict and partnerships among both groups. So I wouldn't be surprised if Page and Omega meet up at some point. And I think it's pretty good storytelling given everything that's happened between them in the Elite and the fact that they were former AEW World Tag Team Champions. Then we had an interview with the winners of the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal that took place at Revolution last month. And basically this interview pretty much just introduced another member to the Death Triangle, Penta El Zero Miedo. And then the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy came out to lay the groundwork for a possible feud between the two teams and said that they have a new member as well, and that was Chris Statlander. And personally, I'm pretty excited to see Pac and Rey Fenix take on the Young Bucks for the tag team titles. I mean, you know that's just going to be an absolute banger of a match. Then we had the Inner Circle segment where basically they challenged the Pinnacle to a blood and guts match. And to be honest, I totally forgot that this pay-per-view even existed because it came out right as the pandemic was getting started last year. And I think at that time they were setting up for a match between the Inner Circle and the Elite, but with everything that's happened, I guess they had to change things around. But now I'm wondering if the Pinnacle was honestly just created just for the purposes of a blood and guts match, because I always felt like the Pinnacle was kind of a makeshift team, like it came together pretty abruptly, and now I'm wondering if AEW honestly just put them together so they could face the Inner Circle in a blood and guts match. But I mean, whatever, it still works. Also, the promo that was cut by Jericho was also super good. Like, I honestly sometimes forget how good Jericho is on the stick, but I mean, he just killed this promo. If you haven't seen it yet, you definitely need to go watch it. And then we had a match between Jurassic Express and Bear Country, and the main inspiration behind this match was that the new Godzilla movie was coming out. So yeah. Anyways, not much to say about this match, other than Luchasaurus is honestly probably one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Like, for a guy as big and strong as he is, it's insane how he can fly as much as he does. But yeah, Luchasaurus finishes off Bear Bronson with a standing moonsault and gets the win for Jurassic Express. Brought to you by Godzilla vs. Kong. Then we had a Nightmare Factory promo, which is basically QT Marshall's new team, and they introduced each person, and when they got to Aaron Solo, I liked how they brought up the fact that Aaron Solo was seemingly only recognized for being Bayley's boyfriend. I also liked QT Marshall bringing up each phase of Cody's career, but then the promo ends when one of the guys takes a bucket of blue paint and just throws it on the Nightmare Factory logo. I mean, that just felt like a really weird and awkward ending. But anyways, I hope soon we do get to see the Nightmare family against the Nightmare Factory. And then we had Tony Schiavone interviewing Sting, and then Jake the Snake Roberts and Lance Archer would come out to interrupt him, and Sting would basically advocate on behalf of Lance Archer, and all the while Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky were watching in the bleachers and they were laughing. So I can only imagine this is probably going to set up some sort of tag team match with Archer and Sting versus Page and Scorpio. And to be honest, I'm just waiting for Scorpio Sky to get his TNT Championship match that he was promised. So I really have no idea what he's doing right now. And then we had Darby Allin with Sting defending the TNT Championship against JD Drake, who had Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth in his corner. So they battle back and forth. Darby hits the coffin drop and pins JD Drake and retains the TNT Championship. Then we had Chris Jericho being interviewed backstage, where he was eventually attacked by MJF and the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle bring Jericho out from backstage and brought him to the ring and continued attacking him. And then Iron Mike Tyson came out to make the save and help Jericho. So that's pretty cool storytelling considering the rivalry Jericho and Mike Tyson had, that Tyson is now helping them. Then we had an interview with Britt Baker backstage by Tony Schiavone, and basically Britt demanded that Tony Khan give her an AEW Women's World title match. She said that the rankings are bullshit, which isn't exactly untrue. I mean, look at this shit. Explain to me how this makes sense. But then she says it should be based off of star power, merch sales, and demo ratings, and she says that she leads in all of them. But I don't know if I agree with that, because then that means more guys like Brock Lesnar can become champion. And then we had a match between the Bunny and Ty Conti, and this would only continue the rivalry between the Matt Hardy family and the Dark Order. And after seeing them earlier in the night in the TNT Championship match with Darby Allin, I honestly just don't care about this rivalry anymore. I feel like they're just being shown way too much. But Ty Conti beats the Bunny with a DDT. So she's killing it like always, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with her, because they have to give her a title match soon. Also, I found the thing that they have going with -1, aka Brody Lee's son, is honestly super cute, and you can just tell that he's having the time of his life out there, which is really great to see. I love that this company is pretty much just making this kid's year right now, and I love that he's constantly out there as a reminder to the late great Brody Lee. And then we had our main event, which was a 6-man tag team match between AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Jon Moxley and the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. And the turning point in this match came when Moxley hit 2 paradigm shifts on Kenny and then was going for a third before the Young Bucks super kicked their partner. And then Moxley's friend Eddie Kingston ran out to try to help him, but then the Good Brothers took him out with the Magic Killer, and then eventually Omega pinned Moxley. And then in the end, the Good Brothers picked up Moxley, and Omega and the Good Brothers told the Young Bucks to attack Mox, and the Bucks hit a double super kick on Moxley and joined Omega, Callis, and the Good Brothers to reunite the Bullet Club. And the show ends with the 6 of them together in one giant faction, taking over AEW the same way they did with New Japan, which is honestly pretty damn cool. So this was a pretty good show. Obviously, it wasn't going to be NXT TakeOver though, but it did good on its own. And I guess it's going to be the last Dynamite of the Wednesday Night Wars. So we'll see where AEW goes from here.